All righty. Thankfully, I had the opportunity to chat with the leader of the opposition, the leader of the NDP, Marit Stiles. How's it going?
Going great. Yeah, it's been an interesting day over here.
Yeah, so let's talk about how it's an interesting day because I think that that's going to segue us into some really cool stuff. So, what did Doug Ford just flip-flop on recently?
Right. There's been a bunch of things, but we've been debating bills here where he's reversing course on his greenbelt grab. We have him trying to ram through some legislation really fast to make the Ontario Place luxury spa deal happen. And then we're hearing rumors that he might back away on his plan to dissolve the Peel region.
Yeah, it was interesting because I think it was the deathbed promise he made to Hazel McCallion to dissolve the Peel region, and it was something that he spoke to about Bonnie Crombie with, and I know that there are people both for and against the dissolving of the Peel region or other regions in general, and there is value there, I think, depending on who you talk to and depending on what areas you're looking at. But what immediately stands out to you as a concern, or even on the other side, like a benefit of dissolving the Peel region? So, what is a benefit or a harm that could come from dissolving the Peel?
Hmm. Well, I mean, I think that this was a deal, like you said, that was made kind of in the back rooms between Bonnie Crombie and Doug Ford while she was still mayor of Mississauga. And I would say that it's something that people, particularly in the Mississauga area, have talked about for quite some time. But it's also something that really everybody in like the Brampton, Caledon area, and a lot of people even in Mississauga have concerns about, because the concern is that all of a sudden all these services are going to be lumped together and land on areas like Brampton that maybe haven't had to pay as much before for these services, or maybe paid less. Here's the thing, right? Like when they dissolve, when they separate these communities up again, these cities, and they are each like their own city, right? Mississauga, Brampton, Caledon. But when they separate them all up, some of the services and things like hospitals and stuff are kind of tend to be in one area more than another. And so that means that people like in Brampton are worried about whether they're going to have the same services that they used to be able to rely on. It also means that taxes, people's taxes could go up really high. And we found out today that in like the Brampton is estimating that taxes for residents there might have to go up 34% to cover all these new services. And in Caledon, 256%. So for people who are really struggling right now, like a lot of families are having trouble putting food on the table and paying rent or mortgages, that seems really scary. And I think that when, you put it like that, and that's what I did today in the legislature, I was asking Doug Ford, is this what you want to do to the people of Brampton and Caledon? I hope that the mayor hears that. We're hearing that the premier rather might reverse course on this, and I think that would be the right thing to do. But he's put us through a hell of an exercise. At the end of the day, we keep getting him to back down though on these things, and so I think there's a lesson here again in that if you continue to hammer away at them and you keep pushing on them and you bring up the facts, the government can reverse course.